We're back on with the Good Green Home Show with Rich Christakis and Shawna Coronado. And Shawna, I have some questions for you today about tips for hardscaping in the garden.
And the rule is that there are two different categories of hardscaping. There's permanent hardscaping, and then there's temporary hardscaping. Now, according to the rules of my homeowners association, I cannot install anything permanent without some sort of approval. And that often goes for cities as well. So my solution is to not install anything that's permanent.
Well, that's too bad because it's your house. You should be able to do whatever you want.
I know.
If you want to plant a front lawn garden, God bless you.
Well, here's the deal. I'm a changer. I'm a fickle woman, and I change my mind every year. So I actually move the paths around annually. I really do. I pick them up and I move those suckers to the left. You know?
You're like an animal that's being hunted by a voracious predator, and you're changing up your hiding location.
Absolutely,
regularly. And
moving
now
it.
The president of the homeowners association is going to listen and watch the show, and now you're busted because they're going to watch for you.
He's
going to
be confused because I keep moving and shaking.
It is
I'm
confusing.
like a boxer. But here's what I do for the non-permanent units that I have set up. I have paths. One path, for example, is built from my old fireplace. Raccoons invaded my fireplace.
Ouch.
And ripped all the stone off, and then it rained. And so my insurance would not cover it because it was, quote, a flood. Oh. And so we had to have the entire fireplace, totally repaired and replaced. So what I did was saved all the stone from it, and I used the stone as pathway material. Now,
wow, I'm not surprised. Shawna Coronado reusing something.
Yeah, reusing, recycle, and what I do is I make the path as level as possible without any underlayment, and I just lay the stone down on top of the soil.
I know you told me that if somebody walks in your garden in the areas they're not supposed to walk, you kind of freak out.
I do.
Is this why you put this path
Well,
down?
yeah, the path is there for a specific reason, because when you're walking on garden soil, you're compacting the soil. And that's not good. No, because you're actually pushing the roots closer together, and it can make a plant smaller over time.
So when you go to Shawna's house, you need to stay in your lane.
Yeah. Or the Shawna police will track you.
Follow the rules of the road in Shawna's garden.
Absolutely. Now, the second type of path that I have in the back that is non-permanent is made from a unique gravel that we have here in the Midwest called lime screenings.
Yeah.
Do you have lime screenings?
Plenty of limestone screenings, yes.
In other part of the country, you'll find it as granite.
We sell
granite
limestone screenings by the ton, literally.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so what I do is I've made wine bottle paths all over my garden. So I dig a trench and I set the wine bottles in it so that they're upside down. And then on the other side, I dig the same trench. So your pathway has just soil in it at this point. Then I laid down gardening fabric, that black landscaping fabric that you have. And the reason I do that is if you don't lay something in between the soil and the lime screenings, then what happens is the worms do their action and they turn over the soil and mix it with
the worms that do that.
It's the worms that do it, and it causes a mess in your pathway. So we line it with the landscape fabric, and then we put the limestone screamings
I scream
on top of it.
Yeah.
Now the permanent solution on the other side of my house, I do have a permanent solution. It was approved by my homeowners association, and it's a flagstone path. And the flagstone that I have is super heavy. Like I can't even lift one stone. It's that heavy. It's really thick. And so the team that came out, I watched them very carefully when they did it. First, they dug the path and the circle that is my back patio. And then they laid down stone that was not lime screenings, but it was a thicker stone. And then they put lime screenings over the top of that.
Probably like a 3/4 inch limestone.
Exactly. It was just cheap rock. It wasn't anything beautiful. And then the lime screenings over that. Then they went through and they leveled all of it and then installed the flagstone on top.
Very nice. So these were pieces of flagstone that were too heavy for one person to carry, but could two men
Oh,
carry
yeah.
them.
You could do this easy on your own.
We sell a lot of, we call them 2-man flagstones. And if you're a weekend warrior, you can do it yourself. If you get a buddy or get a brother or brother-in-law or somebody to come over and help you carry these without having to rent a machine or something to carry them, to get a nice.
And it's perfect. That really works. What about, let's also talk about what you have in your garden, which is instead of a path, you have hardscaping that is installed as a part of the flower garden that you have there.
Right. What I did is I removed a bunch of grass a few years ago on the side of my driveway, and I was planting flower beds into the ground, and they were beautiful. But the bed that was on the lowest spot, I was having some root rot problems where the water was collecting. So I decided to raise it up. Well, those are some great tips. The bottom line is don't walk on the soil that your garden plants are going to be growing in because the compaction is detrimental to the quality of growth.
Yeah, that's such a proper term. I would have said because it sucks for the plants.
Well, I've been thinking, I got this thesaurus for my birthday, and I've been reading it. No,
Gardenpedia.
Gardenpedia.
Yeah.
Well, that was another great segment of the Good Green Home Show with Rich and Shawna. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Hi, Rich from Alsop Home and Nursery in St. John here to remind you to think outside the box store and shop at your locally owned Best of the Northwest Indiana Region Garden Center.
Alsop Home and Nursery, the best of every season.
In Frankfort on LaGrange Road in St. John on Route 41. See their weekly circular at alsopnursery.com.
Do you want to stop garden insects before they become a problem? Bonide All Seasons Horticultural Spray is your answer and will stop your garden insects before they hatch. Early spraying smothers most insect eggs left behind by last year's plant-destroying insects. Bonide's All Season Horticultural Spray Oil will destroy insect eggs in early spring and, if used throughout the season, will control all stages of insects. Bonide All Season Spray Oil is recommended for use on shade trees, fruit trees, shrubs, roses, and ornamental plants. Bonide All Seasons Horticultural Spray Oil is easy to use and an all-natural product that can be used all season long. Bonide products are family made in America. All Seasons Horticultural Spray Oil is available at your local hardware store, garden center, or farm feed store, or go to bonide.com for a retailer near you.